every year I have people over and have them carve pumpkins, and over the years I've learned a few lessons from them. So I don't know how much I'll go into carving technique, but we'll see how things go. I think these pictures kind of speak for themselves in terms of technique. So one of the first things you need to have to carve a good pumpkin is patience. They're quite a lot of work, and it's one of those things where the time you put into it is the quality that you get out. Usually people come out with very happy pumpkins, and sometimes they're a little bit scarier, but everyone has a good time. I was hoping that some of the people that worked on these could show up, but it's quite all right that they're not. So another lesson I've learned over the years is to know your tools. I use a series of jigsaws that I've sort of built myself, and then mostly chisels. And so when I know what I'm doing, I can freehand a pumpkin in a couple of hours just using chisels. And then when I start getting ambitious, I turn things up a notch. This is still done mostly with chisels, but I brought in a Dremel as well. Actually, most of what you're seeing there is chisel work, but it was fun to start seeing how much detail I could get into using power tools. So this year, we'll see how that goes. I'm not quite sure, but I'm kind of excited about where that's going to go. So the way that I work with pumpkins is the deeper that you carve, the more light you get. You have to sort of think in reverse of the image that you want to create, and then you have to be careful because once you remove it, it's no longer black. So if you want things to be black, you cannot touch them, you cannot shave them. Once they're gone forever. But it's deeply satisfying to see that you have so much depth to work with when you're working in pumpkin. So this is the first pumpkin I did where I started getting into the fourth dimension, as I like to think of it. I wanted to sort of think about how a pumpkin could have more artistic value than just an image. And so I carved into the back of it and then put multiple candles inside so I could have these lines of dancers moving slightly behind that. And recently I took that to another step, which was seagulls. So I carved seagulls out of the back and put in multiple candles, and so they flickered on the wall and would overlap each other. I call this learning to let go because this was the first commissioned piece I did. And as an artist, it's sometimes hard to say, okay, I just spent an entire day on this, take it, never see it again. But one of the great things about pumpkins is they fade away, so you don't have to worry about your artwork sticking around too long. So you can see the professor that sort of got me started on this complicated process, but I have fun investigating different representations of people, and sometimes emotionally rather than physically. But I wanted to show some of the pumpkins that the students have made. A couple of these pumpkins were the first pumpkins that they had ever carved in their lives. And so it's deeply gratifying to be able to share my skills with other people because they develop a new sense of pride where they didn't even know they could find one. Sorry, I'm so used to questions, I'm like, what? So the message I want to leave you guys with is do what you love and you'll love what you do, hopefully. And they don't always turn out the way you expect them to, but it's something where you've created something that is temporary, but something that will hopefully teach you more about your life and so you like the lessons that I learned. So Thank you very much.